Hey friends, I am here today to talk to you about how to find your Enneagram type the real way. Make sure you stay through the end of the video because I've got a killer giveaway just for my YouTube subscribers. So let's dive in. Now, I get asked all the time, how do you know your Enneagram type? What's the best Enneagram test to take, right? And I always have to respond with, you can't take a test, right? And we're going to talk about why you can't take a test real briefly. And then we're going to talk about how you find your type. What is it that you need to do to really understand what's going on for you and where you fit in this system? So first of all, not everybody agrees with me about the test thing, and I am A-okay with that. Here's the reason why I don't think tests are particularly helpful. First of all, a test can't test for your motivation, right? We don't have the skills and the technology to be able to probe into your deepest thoughts, feelings, emotions, physical sensations. We can't do that, which is probably a good thing, right? So first of all, it can't test for motivation. We can't do that. And that's what the Enneagram is focused on, not about what your behavior is, not about, you did this or you did X or you did Y or you did Z. It's about what's motivating your behaviors. Two people could have the exact same behaviors, but be doing it for totally different reasons. And this would mean that they would be totally different Enneagram types. So tests are not helpful because they can't test for motivation. But even some of the quote unquote more accurate tests still, for me, don't hit the mark. Because essentially, we don't learn our Enneagram types just to know our Enneagram types. We learn our Enneagram type in order to engage in a specific kind of personal and spiritual development. And all of that personal and spiritual development relies heavily on our ability to self-observe. Where you get your information matters. The way you get your information has a really strong correlation to how you're going to be able to use it and how you will expect to use it, what you think is the right way to use it. Now, if you just punch all your answers into a computer and it spits out your type, then you think, oh, well, that's it. That's all there is. But the reality is finding your Enneagram type is often a journey, just like the work that the Enneagram is inviting us into. And there are no shortcuts on this journey. So whether or not you got handed a sticker with your type on it from a test or anybody who says that they know you so well, that's fine. Whatever. No harm, no foul. But in order for you to actually know whether or not that type is really yours, is for you to self-observe. For you to go on the journey of trying it on and seeing if it fits. Is this really how you see and respond to the world? So without self-observation, the test is useless anyway. So in my opinion, it's best to just skip it and try these steps instead. So the first thing that's really helpful to do when you're trying to discover your Enneagram type is just do some simple light reading. You don't need to read any more than maybe 2 or 3 paragraphs about each type and just see which ones ring, right? Some of them you're going to be like, oh, that could be me. Yeah, maybe this. I can definitely feel a little bit of that. You'll find a few types that you definitely resonate with. And more importantly, you'll find a few types that you were like, that is definitely not me. I've never been accused of that in my life. And knowing which type you're not is just as valuable as knowing which type you are when you're first starting in this process. So once you read through and get kind of a basic understanding of the types, then you can start to do a little bit more exploration. You can take the ones that you felt resonant with and start to dig a little bit deeper. It can be helpful to maybe listen to some podcasts. It can be helpful to read a little bit more about each type. Like maybe you go through the whole chapter on a type, or you look at a website and you read the whole page about a type. Then, as you start to take the information deeper, you can start to ask yourself deeper questions. And this is really the key. The whole process of finding your type, you have to be checking it against what you know about yourself and checking what you know about yourself to the rest of your reality? Are you going out and seeing these things play out for you? What do they look like? How do they feel? These are the things that are going to point you in the direction of your type more effectively than punching in answers to a test. After you go a little bit deeper, most of the time I find that people have a pretty strong sense. If you're still unsure, one of my favorite ways for self-discovery of a type is listening to panels. This is where you get so much information about a type. Not just the two-dimensional description of a type that can show up in a book, but the real-life 3D nuanced and interesting people that are these types sharing with you what their life is like. And it's been my experience watching panels and facilitating panels that when people that share my type get up and start talking, I know it. I can feel it. There's something about the way that they speak. It resonates with me so deeply, and it will for you too. I've also dropped all the links for my panel series on my podcast, Conscious Construction, down below. So if you're at this level, you can click the links below and listen to the types that you're deciding between and see if there's any more resonance. Often at this point, people know their types, but not everyone. It can still be a long journey because you have to self-observe. You have to see how these things play out. I have several close friends who've tried on different types for as long as a year, to feel which one was really theirs and to feel what their motivation really was and where they needed to be doing their work. There's nothing wrong with mistyping. There's nothing inherently bad about taking your time to figure out your type. This is all part of your process in your journey. Don't be discouraged if this takes more time, because this stuff isn't as simple as A plus B equals C. It's much more in-depth. And sometimes it takes a while to really peel back all the different layers that we take on from our culture and our family of origin to really get down to what really is motivating me. What are the things that I'm trying to avoid? What are the things that I'm trying to really showcase about myself? And after all this, if you're still looking for support, or maybe you want to start off your journey with the right tools, I offer typing interviews, and I'm giving away 3 free typing interviews to people who subscribe to this channel and drop a comment below on this video. I'm going to hop on YouTube Live on April 8th and announce the 3 winners. Again, I've posted a whole bunch of resources and links below in the description, so check all that out if you're interested in discovering more about yourself, and I'll see y'all in the next one.